Hello snowboarders of the internet, I'm your host Avran LeFeber, and in this video we'll be reviewing the Ride Burnout. This board is available in 149, 152, 155, 158, 154 wide, and 157 wide. This board features Ride's twin hybrid camber, which is traditional camber into a very minimal rocker zone out in the tip and the tail. This gives you the snap and drive of traditional camber underfoot, but you get a little bit more play, and I stress that, just a little bit more play out in the tip and the tail. I rode this board at Copper Mountain, it's like early to mid-morning, a little bit warmer, but it was still like, I've been cold overnight, so the snow was firm but softening up. There was mild wind, it was bluebird skies, basically perfect conditions to go test a park board in the park. And the snow eventually did turn to slush, and I rode this with my K2 Thraxis boots and my K2 Indy bindings. So this board comes in with an overall slightly stiffer middle of the road park flex to it. You do have a nice sweet spot out in the tips, then it stiffens back up through the inside of the binding pack, and then it softens up in the middle there. There's a moderate amount of torsional flex. Basically there's sweet spots, but it's still an aggressively stiffer board. Well, I shouldn't say aggressively. So sure, there's some sweet spots, but it's still a slightly stiffer board. Now, if you want stability in a park board, here you go. You might feel some micro vibrations in it, but overall, this board just wants to plow through everything in its path and go fast. It's one of those boards, doesn't really suck when it comes to stability or being on edge or just plowing through chunder or charging around the mountain. This board has snap, and it's not bad. This is what you would expect from a board like this. It does take a little bit of effort to load it up, but what you get out of it is phenomenal. It's one of those boards that's really gonna pop. It's really gonna do what you want it to do. So can't really complain about that too much. You wanna send it, you can send it. And this board is fully at home on jumps. It just accentuates whatever the lip has for boost by having pop and snap in it. This board is fully at home in the air. Small, medium, large, half pipe, quarter pipe, got you covered. Now, I did mention that there was a sweet spot in the tip and the tail. It's not a big sweet spot. It's very minuscule, and if you really want to butter with it, you've got to engage it, get all your weight over it, and just be prepared for the board to fight you a little bit due to the camber profile and the flex of it. But if you engage it perfectly, you're gonna swivel and sizzle and have no problem. It's gonna have a lot of pop out of anything you do. And when it comes to jibbing, it's the same thing. That nose and tail, they will lock into presses. You just gotta get your weight out over them, and going sideways, the camber zone hugs a rail perfectly. But a little bit of speed goes a long way with this board. So if you're more slow and methodical, probably not what you want, but if you're a little more fast and loose, this might be what you're looking for. There's good and bad things with the side cut on this board. The good, it's very easy to engage, it transitions smoothly. The bad, you can't leave nipple dragging carves with it, which I like to do that on park boards. It's just something about them, I just love doing that on them. That's more of a personal gripe for me. Will it get on edge and hold? Yes. Will it push through anything in its path? Yes. Can you really aggressively lay it over? No. But short, tight, quick setup turns are easy. Long, swooping, drawn-out carves are great. It has great edge hold, and that's really what you want in a board like this. So who's this board for? It's definitely for a high-end park rider. Someone that's just gonna send it on bigger features. I do love the new shape of this board. It doesn't have that abrupt tip kick like other boards have. It's very reminiscent to like an early 2000s, late 90s shaped board, but it's got all the solid components of current technology. It doesn't suck. It's not like they're trying to remake something from that era. They've just figured out that, hey, that shape works, but we're gonna add way better tech to it and make it even better. That's what I really liked about it. The snap on this board, super good. It's a little bit more of an aggressive park board, so it might not be for everyone, but for those days you wanna be aggressive, it's great. Comparable boards, the Interior Plane Project Honolulu, the Jones Mountain Twin, the Capita DOA. This has been my review of the Ride Burnout. Do you agree with it? Do you disagree with it? Do you own one? Are you considering buying one? leave me a comment down below. Let's have a conversation about this snowboard. If you're new here, remember to subscribe, click the bell, get those notifications. That way you're not missing any of the content we've got coming out for you. And if you'd really like to support us and you really want to see us just grow our endeavors, swing on over to Angry Snowboarder VIP. I could tell you more here, but I got a video over there. As always, I've been your host, Avran LeFeber. I'll see you in another video.